Hello again. This is Dean. Welcome back to my channel, Filipino Nurse Retires Home. And how is everybody? I hope you are all fine, okay? If we're not all fine, then there's gonna be another day that we will be fine, correct? Otherwise, I would like you to subscribe, please, okay? If you have not done that yet, share if you find my videos interesting for other people. And then if you can comment, make it longer so that I can respond to you and we will have exchange of ideas at the same time and it will help people. And also another one is hit that notification bell, okay? So that you'll be notified for any kind of impending topics. All right. Today's topic is different. This is directed to the foreigners. All right. The 10 biggest mistake that foreigners will make when they move to any kind of third world country. Okay. Example this time is the Philippines, which I'm good at. Now, number one mistake is, all right, I noticed that most of the reasons why the foreigners go there because of economic reason. Like for example, if their pension is very small, like example, less than $1,000 a month, okay? $1,000 in United States. If you do not have home, then you're gonna be homeless. It will be very hard to live off $1,000 a month in America, because the rental, electricity, your food, you will be on medication, you are going to be homeless. I'm so sorry about that. But if you go to the Philippines, most of them thrive on $1,000 a month. However, you really have to still be very careful of how much you spend. You don't go there because the conversion rate is $50, no, 50 pesos in a dollar. You have to live off what you have. Do not overextend yourself and think that because of the conversion rate you are already a king, because you are wrong. Okay, with that 1,000 you have, yes, you can live in the Philippines, but as I have said, maintain it in such a way that you still have a little savings in case of emergency. You can do it, but you have to stretch that budget. Okay, so live like a Filipino so that you can live there. Do not live like an American, because you will never be able to make it before the month is over. Number two, when you expect the third world country to be like a first world, that's why it's called third world, right? Like for example, with regards to the amenities we have in the Philippines, poor road system, the educational system is really substandard, except if you're gonna go to like private schools, okay? They're in par with some of the Western schools. Now, the traffic lights is terrible. The traffic is so terrible because we don't have traffic lights in every corner, okay? In every intersection. The garbage as well as the sewage disposal is terrible. Noise is terrible. The hospitals, they are good and they're bad, okay? So the hospitals can be very expensive. I'll talk to you about that shortly. Now, number three, expect that you do not have to learn the language of the lady that you married, okay? Because even if the Philippines is, even if the people there are acquainted to talk in English, you still have to learn how to speak like the native language. Okay, you do not expect the girl to always know the language English, okay, because not all girls there are able to speak English. So do not expect them to talk in English while you do not speak their language. It has to be two ways, okay? So learn them if you can, okay? Number four, failure of the expat to have to carry a good health insurance, okay? You have to know also, because sometimes some health insurances are overkill in the Philippines because the health system there is a little bit lower. I mean, it does not cost very much. So try your best to get you a health insurance that is more like applicable to the Filipino setting, okay? So do not depend on the Philippine insurance system, okay? PhilHealth will not give you everything. Now, good example, my father died in the hospital, and he stayed 5 days in the hospital, and we spent in ICU 5 days, and we spent about 200 pesos for that, and it has to come from our pockets. And if you do not have that, that's about, what's that, $4,000, then you're gonna be in trouble, right? So ER is okay. I mean, all those outpatients are lesser than the West. But if in case you're gonna have major problem, then that's gonna hit you really bad, okay? Now, another one is expect to work in PI because there's no work in PI. There's a reason why the OFWs, we have OFWs who go outside the country because there's not a lot of good paying job in the Philippines, okay? Now, you do not expect also to get paid in dollar by the hour because there's no such thing. You only probably get paid about 350 pesos a day, and you do not expect to get paid more because you are a foreigner. So you have to adjust to that if in case you're gonna get a job, okay? And another mistake is enter in a very like a small business and in competition with the local business, okay? So make sure that your business is in par with the other businesses so that you will get along well, okay? And when you make money, you have to think like a Filipino, okay? Do not think that your gain or profit is based on what you are used to in America, okay? So maybe for Filipino, 20,000 pesos profit for 1 month in a certain business. For a Filipino, they're very, very happy about that. But for an American, 20,000 is just $500, and that's not a lot of money for American way of thinking. So avoid thinking like a American. Think like a Filipino, okay? Another mistake, not retaining your address in America. The reason for that, what if you're gonna go back to America later on because you do not like the Philippines? And do not, if you can help it, do not sell it all, and you maintain a little bit of money in America. Do not sell it all and spend it all in the Philippines. My goodness, that's the biggest mistake that you can have. So have you a good address there in America, and unless if you are not intending to go back to America, okay, and die in the Philippines, then you do not have to have an address. But for me, I would maintain my address, okay? And no contingency plan. That's another mistake, no contingency plan. So you have to have a backup plan if in case things would go bad for you in the Philippines. I say that over and over. So that's why you have to have contingency. Now, another one that's really kind of touchy, okay? I have heard a lot. I also look at the YouTube people. There's a lot of expats that goes to the Philippines that are not successful in their native land. And they go to the Philippines thinking that they can change around and be somebody someday. That is a wrong kind of concept. Because if you are not successful and you are a piece of, you know what, in your native land, you're gonna be the same way in the Philippines. Nothing will change. It's really the mentality issue, okay? So, if that is your purpose, to change your life away, then you should have already started doing that in your native land, okay? Because you're gonna be the same way when you go to the Philippines. You're gonna be still sorry piece of what? You know what? I'm sorry, but I did not say the word, but Do your research though, okay, before you go to any kind of third world country, and don't expect too much and act like the native people. Act like a Filipino if you're from you go into the Philippines, okay? Do not impose what you think is correct, because you know they've been there centuries and centuries and they never change, okay? And I have another topic for you also, for the OFWs and people who are going back to the Philippines, like native Filipinos like me. What are those big mistakes that we have, that we can make when we move back to the Philippines? Okay, I'm gonna have that for another topic. How about that? Thank you guys, and have a safe day. Bye.